Dear student, I am starting your lecture 12 for MOSFET. Topic name is internal gate protection. See, in a last lecture we have seen about the precaution is required to handle the MOSFET because the thin SiO2 layer of a MOSFET is very susceptible, and when electrostatic charge is passing through the SiO2 layer through the gate, then it will be punctured. So to avoid such problem, we have listed some precaution. This precaution makes MOSFET is a very awkward device compared to other transistors. Nowadays manufacturer is providing you the internal gate protection that avoid the puncturing of the SiO2 layer. Nowadays, in a between the gate and source, the face-to-face diode or back-to-back diode are built. As a result, excess charge received by the gate will be shunted to the ground. That you can see like this. See, I am showing the internal gate protection of the circuit here. In this circuit you can see that your back to back diode, this is your face to face diode, is connected between gate and source. Face to face diode connected between gate and source. When either gate receive the voltage, this is designed in such a way that if either gate receive more than plus 10 volt, then the upper diode will conduct and lower diode give the Zener breakdown effect. So this excess charge will become the ground through the source. So it will go from gate to the source like this. Suppose someone say, suppose this receive the minus 10 volt. If this is this receive the minus 10 volt. If this receives minus 10 volt, then this lower diode will give the conductions, ordinary diode, and upper will give the what? Zener breakdown effect. As a result, the excess charge will be ground to the source. It is like this. Suppose someone want to use only one gate, then both the gate can be short circuited as shown in figure. Suppose somebody is asking you, so just let me give you one example for this is your one MOSFET. So for one MOSFET, your breakdown voltage is plus or minus 6.5 volt. And if you have questions that, sir, if the input signal is this input signal is more than 6.5, if the input is more than 6.5 volt, then what will happen? Then the excessive voltage more than the 6.5 will be clipped, but generally your voltage you are giving to the input is less than this voltage. So this internal gate protection does not affect the working. Only one disadvantage is there. Is leakage current increases. The leakage current increases. Listen, this is the small topic about your internal gate protection. Now we'll see the application of we'll see the one more circuit, that is testing of a feedback transistor. We want to see the testing circuit of a feedback transistor circuit. So I am showing you some circuit. See, I am showing you some circuit here. With the help of that circuit you can do this. This is your switch. Here I am connecting the 6-volt battery here. This is connected to the gate. Here is your N channel depletion type MOSFET. N channel depletion type MOSFET. Here I have connected one more resistors. Here one other resistors, and it is connected to the transistor circuit. This transistor is NPN we have used. This is your another resistor, and here we have connected one bulb. This bulb will indicate the either on or off, and here I am connecting the voltage plus minus voltage. Right? Now look here, this is your N channel. I am discussing how you can test the N channel depletion type MOSFET with the help of this circuit. Now you must be knowing, in N channel depletion type MOSFET, when you give the negative voltage to the gate, then if the sufficient negative voltage to the gate, then positive charge is induced in a channel and this will be cut off, means current does not flow. So in a depletion type, when no voltage is there, current will flow, you know this. Again I am telling you, when you already know that for N-type depletion type MOSFET, when you give the sufficient negative voltage to the gate, then positive charge induced in a channel and MOSFET will be cut off. So current does not flow. When you are not giving any gate voltage to the depletion type MOSFET, it will conduct. So on the basis of this prior knowledge you have, I am discussing. Now look how you can say whether this is working or not from this circuit. I am writing here the type of the transistor. Okay, suppose you are writing here, it's a this MOSFET you are writing. This is your N channel depletion type MOSFET. Then you are writing here the position of the switch. Position of your switch. This is S. I am writing here S. It is open or then bulb. Bulb is on or off. Then I am writing conclusion. What is conclusion? So look here, I am discussing for this point of view. This is your position of the switch I am keeping open. This is open. Then what will happen? If this is open, this will conduct, current will flow. As current will go flow in this direction, this gets the voltage is developed. So you will get some VB voltage. So this transistor will conduct, this transistor will conduct, so bulb will be on. So your bulb will be on. Suppose, again I am telling you, suppose your MOSFET is working, suppose your MOSFET is working. This bulb, this switch is open. Switch is open, current will flow, current will flow. This get the voltage, as a result VB will be there. So this transistor will conduct and bulb will be on. Bulb will be on. Now, suppose someone say, sir, this is closed. I was switch, what I did, close. If switch is closed, if you close the switch, switch is closed, sufficient negative voltage, positive charge are induced in the channel. This does not conduct. If this does not current, current does not flow, you will not get any base emitter voltage. Transistor does not conduct, bulb will be off, you will get off. You will get off. Again, open, this conduct, voltage is developed, VB is there, this transistor conduct, bulb will be on. This is closed. If this is closed, positive charge is induced, current does not. So positive charge is induced, current does not flow. You will not get any voltage. VB is not there, so transistor does not conduct, so bulb will be off. It means if it is like this, then you can say it is working. What you can say? If you will get in this way, transistor, you can say working. It is your working, you can say. Suppose someone say, sir, this is your, suppose someone say, this is open, this is on, this is closed, and this is also on. Then what will happen? When switch is open and switch is closed, when switch is open and switch is closed, when this is open and closed, both the time bulb will be on, means this is short circuited, this is your short circuited. So I can say, so this will nothing but you can say short circuited. Remember this. Okay. Suppose someone say, sir, I am getting like this. Suppose someone say, I am getting like this. In both the condition, when switch is open and closed, in both the condition, bulb will be off. Bulb will be off means this is not working, current does not flow, you will not get any voltage, this will be off. This is possible only when this current is not flowing and this must be open. So I have to change here, this is nothing but the open. So when open and close, bulb will be off. It is, you can say, it is MOSFET is not working, it is open circuited. So clear cut conclusion, remember, when switch is open and bulb is looking at, bulb is what, nothing but the, you can say, on, switch is closed, bulb will be off, then MOSFET N channel, which channel? N channel MOSFET is working. If both the times switch on and off, if both the times this is off or remain on, it means MOSFET is not working. Same circuit can be used for a JFET. Same circuit can be used as a N channel JFET. For N channel JFET, same thing. When it is open, bulb should be on. When it is closed, bulb should be off. So you can say JFET N channel is what? Working. So similar way you can check P channel enhancement type using this circuit, or by changing the gate voltage you can check the another type of the fact. I think you will understand. Next discussion is, see this circuit is also called go no go test circuit. It is called go no go test circuit. Okay? Here very simple discussion how do you can check your transistor, that have check your MOSFET, understand, and also JFET. Now I am discussing the application of channel ohmic region of field effect transistor. What is its application that I want to discuss? Look here, already know the characteristics of a field effect transistor. These characteristics already we have drawn, graph of ID versus VDS, and this is we are getting like this. This is nothing but the VO return. VGS is 0, minus 0.5 volt, minus 1 volt, minus 1.5 volt, minus 2 volt, minus 2.5 volt. Okay. Now, and VO return, if you remember this, then VO return, this is VP, pinch of voltage, and this region is called channel ohmic region. This region is called channel ohmic region. So look here, in channel ohmic region, I am starting from point A, B, C, D, E, F. If this point, if I am finding the drain resistance, then value of the drain resistance at different point is different. It depends upon the gate voltage. It means resistance offered by the FAT. Depends upon the gate voltage. So in these channel ohmic regions, resistance offered by the FAT vary with the voltage. Now if you plot a graph of drain resistance versus VGS, as negative voltage increases, as the negative voltage minus 0.5, minus 1, minus 1.5, minus 2, minus 3, then your resistance increases like this. Your resistance increases. Remember, as you increase the negative voltage, the resistance increases. It means your FAT work as a variable resistance. This RD vary with the voltage. Resistance offered by the FAT vary with the voltage. You can see here, as this resistance change as the VGS is changed. So from the slope you can find. If you do the slope, if you find the slope of each line, 1 upon slope is give you the drain resistance. So slope at every times it is different for different voltage. As a result, the resistance offered by the FAT will be different. So resistance of the FAT depends upon voltage. Resistance offered by the FAT depends upon voltage. This property is known as a voltage. This property is known as a voltage variable resistor. So look here, see the resistance of this resistance RD, it is resistance RD vary with VGS, means gate voltage. So such property of the FAT is known as a voltage variable resistor, and you are getting such property only in a ohmic channel region. In a ohmic channel region, if you vary the gate voltage, then gate resistance, then drain current will change. It means resistance offered by the FAT vary. So you can use such property of a FAT in a different application. You can use as a voltage control attenuator. You can use as a automatic gain control circuit. You can use such property in a chopper DC amplifier. So such kind of the property we can use in a different application. This means as you vary the voltage, gate voltage, the resistance offered by the FAT change. So this property is known as a voltage variable resistor. So such first application I am discussing, and for such first application I am discussing is a voltage control attenuator. The topic name is nothing but you can say application of FAT as a VVR. In that first application, in a voltage control attenuator. Voltage control attenuator. Sir, what does it mean? Let us see circuit diagram. I am drawing the circuit of the voltage control attenuator. The resistor is connected in a drain circuit. I am giving the negative voltage. Here I am taking the output voltage. Here I am giving your input signal. Just to explain you, I am writing here 100 millivolt input signal I am writing. Your Vs. Now look here. Voltage, you want to control this voltage at the output. So this voltage can be controlled at the output with the gate source voltage. When I am keeping, remember, when when VGS is 0, then FET conduct current I passing through RD. So Vs is developed across RD and VO is very small. When VGS is made negative, then look here what is happening. As I made the negative, then VGS is 0. So VGS is 0. So I have written your output is 0, nearly about. As you make this is negative, -1, -2, -3, -4. So what will happen? Look here. As you make this is negative. Less current will flow here, current will be flowing very less. Current decreases. So voltage drop across this decreases. So this voltage drop increases. Look again. As you made this is negative, this less current will be less. As current is less, voltage drop across RD is less. As voltage drop across RD is less, so this voltage increases. So when this is maximum negative voltage, this does not conduct. If the current does not flow, the voltage drop is 0. In this potential and this potential is same. These two potential is same. If these two potential is same, then you will get here is nothing but the VO is nothing but the VS. So you will get VS, and I am showing you like this. So when VGS is 0, you will get output is 0. When VGS is made negative, then this output increases. Means you can control your output voltage. You can attenuate your output voltage with the help of gate to source voltage. You can attenuate output voltage with the help of small value of the gate voltage. In short, very small power you can use at the gate to control the large power in this circuit. So in this way, the property of the FET as a VVR is used to control or to attenuate the voltage. Last time telling you this is 0, current will flow, maximum voltage drop, this voltage is 0 because Vs is this plus this, you can say. So if this voltage is maximum, this voltage is what? 0, because voltage drop here is maximum. As you made negative, current decreases, this voltage drop increases, this voltage drop increases, this voltage drop decreases because current decreases, this voltage drop decreases, so output voltage increases. When this means sufficient negative, this does not conduct, current passing through this is 0, voltage drop is 0, so this voltage will be appear here that I have shown in this graph. So here you will get maximum voltage. So you can say that as you change the gate source voltage, then your output voltage will be changed, or you can attenuate output voltage with the help of gate source voltage. In this way you can explain the FET as a VVR in a automatic control attenuator. Now second circuit I want to discuss. Second circuit, application of FAT, application of FAT as a VVR in a AGC circuit, in a automatic gate control circuit. See how to draw the circuit diagram. From circuit diagram you can easily explain the working of the circuit. I have to explain in this the FAT work as a VVR and your gain of the circuit is automatically controlled. Look here, this is a input signal I am showing you. Here I have used your fixed bias circuit. This is your fixed bias circuit I have used. Just for change I am showing you, this is your NPN transistors I am showing here. This is your PNP transistor I am showing. Yes. I am giving the output. This is your RL. Here I am showing you. This is not fixed bias, this is a fixed bias with the emitter bias circuit. This is your RE. This is not fixed bias, this is your fixed bias with the emitter bias, you can say. Here I am connecting one capacitor and here I am showing you this FAT here work as a VVR. This FAT will work as a VVR. This is your one capacitor. It work as a filter circuit. Resistor R. This work as a clamper circuit, and this output here I am taking as a capacitor. This output voltage. Look carefully here. This is your amplifier I am discussing here, whose voltage should be remain constant. This is your FAT work as a VVR. This is your filter circuit, and this is your clamper. Look here, the working we want to discuss. What we want to discuss? Automatic gain control circuit. Means gain of this circuit remain constant. In other sense, if the input is increased, even the output remain constant. The input decrease, even the output remain constant. That we want to discuss. Listen again. If the input increases, output remain constant. The input decreases, if the input increases, output remain constant. If the input decreases, output remain constant. If you will get such thing, then it is called gain is controlled automatically. That I am discussing here with you. This is your input signal. This is your input signal. This is the amplifier circuit with fixed bias, with emitter bias. You will get amplified version here. Your signal will be amplified. Okay. And this coupling capacitors, this I am writing C1, this I am writing C2. From this signal will pass is coming here, and that signal, some part of the signal will come here, and that will be positive half will be clamped by this diode D, or positive half will be passing through this diode and negative will be appear to the point X or gate. On gate, negative voltage will be appear. Again, this is your input signal, you will get amplified signal. Amplified signal will be like this. This is amplified signal. Okay. Some part of this, some part will be passing through this. Positive half will be rectified or it will be clamped. You will get negative voltage at the point X. After filtering, you will get negative voltage on the X. As you get a negative voltage, then this work as a VUR that I am explaining you. I am starting your explanation. Suppose let your input Vi increases. Let your input Vi increases. Therefore, okay, output increases. Therefore, some part of VO passes through C1 also increases. As a result, negative voltage on, or you can say at point X, on cap or at point X increases. So this negative at X increases. Look again. This input voltage increases, the output voltage increases, some part of the output voltage passing to the C1 will be increases. After clamping and filtering part, the negative voltage at X will increase. As negative voltage X increases, then drain resistance offered by the transistor increases. So, effective resistor in emitter increases. So, therefore, negative feedback to transistor Q1 to Q1 also increases. Negative feedback increases. As this, look again, this increases, this output voltage increases, some part will be passing through the C1 is also increases. So after clamping and filtering, the voltage at X increases. As the voltage at increases, the resistance of the FET increases. This is open for the DC. So as this resistance increases, overall effective resistance of RE increases. Sometimes this is changing. So sometimes they are mentioning like this also. It's variable. So due to this resistance increases, effective resistance in emitter lead of the transistor increases. As effective resistance in emitter lead of the transistor increases, the negative feedbacks increases here. As negative feedback increases, your input decreases. Your input decreases. As input decreases, so output decreases, and it tries to remain in a deceleration. As a result, your Vi decreases and output remains. So VO remains constant. So VO remains constant. Look again, last time. This is input Vi. Suppose this is increases. Output of amplifier increases. So this output increases. But some part of this output is passing to the C1 also increases. Some part of the output passes to the C1 increases. As this is increases, then after clamping and filtering, voltage at the X, negative voltage at the X increases. X increases. As this voltage increases, the resistance offered by this RD increases. So effective emitter resistor also increases. So negative feedback increases. So Vi decreases, so output decreases, so output of the circuit try to remain at the constant level. Reverse, you can think in this direction. Let Vi decreases, therefore output decreases, some part of VO, some part of VO, some part of VO passes through C1 decreases. Therefore, negative voltage at X also decreases, because after filtering you will get what is negative voltage. If this voltage decreases, so this voltage decreases, this passing voltage. If this decreases, so resistance decreases, resistance decreases. So negative feedback decreases. So negative feedback decreases. So your VO try to remain constant. In this way, this automatic gain control circuit work. Again, for this I am telling you. Suppose this is decreases. Some part of this passing through this decreases. As a result, after clamping and filtering, the negative voltage at X decreases. So your negative voltage decreases, so its resistance decreases. So effective emitter resistance decreases. As effective emitter resistance decreases, the negative feedback decreases. As a result, decrease in Vi will be less compared to previous one. So your input slightly increases. As input increases, output increases. As a result, output try to remain at a constant level. This is called automatic gain control circuit. In this way, you can explain the working of a FET SAVUR in a AGC circuit. Here I am keeping a end of the lecture. Thank you.